Hello, everybody. Test, test. We should be live now, guys. Welcome to chess.com Title Tuesday event. This is the Title Tuesday early event. We're here on chess.com in the live chess server, and guys, we're going to be getting started right away. This is looking like I would say a very stacked tournament, but we're missing some of the heavy hitters that we usually see here. Nakamura is notably absent. Don't know if he'll be planning to play the later version. That's right, there's always two versions of the Title Tuesday, the early and the late event, so that hopefully everybody has time to play, at least one. We're going to be starting in about 30 seconds here. The game should be getting underway any second, guys, but join in. Get involved, chess.com/TV and twitch.tv/chess, guys. I'm going to be following along your comments, and if you have any favorite players, as usual, let me know, and I'll do my best to follow along, hopefully get one of their games if they're doing well, and at least update you on their results. But we do have Daniel Naroditsky, it looks like David Howell, Alexander Moskalenko, we have Andreikin, Gorgmeyer, Sujirov, Conrad Holt, a lot of the regular players. But we're gonna start, guys, with an All-American battle right now. We got Christian Kirilla playing black here against Daniel Naroditsky, one of the tournament's favorites by rating. 27-23, but both of these guys play chess in the United States right now. And we do have a lot of GMs joining this tournament, but it looks like, looking at the list right now, guys, top seed is David Howell, and I don't see Nakamura, MVL, some of these guys. So maybe they're planning on playing the late edition. I don't know. chessbrah 02, is any chessbrah playing? Well, actually, you've got that game in front of you right now. Christian Kirilla has streamed on the chessbrah channel before, so we're definitely putting our money on this horse. I don't know if we have any other chessbrahs participating. I myself know that I'm probably going to be playing the late event if I can find time for that. But for now, I get to relax, follow the games, and just enjoy them as a fan, which is nice. I was recently a fan, spectating the Magnus Carlsen Nakamura Blitz battle, which was nice. So I'm just enjoying, taking a step back, not having to play myself, and just do some commentating, and no pressure for my own chess, which is nice. So here we have a Grunfeld. It looks like this one was bishop d2. Let's have a look. Okay, knight f3, but then bishop d2. So it was a form of a bishop d2 Grunfeld. A little bit different than normal. You would start with bishop d2 right here, but we do transpose to a semi-main line here, bishop e2, and white's playing for a very minimal advantage here. Bishop f3, eyeing c6. We'll see moves like rook c8, rook d8. In my opinion, black has pretty much totally equalized, but again, guys, remember, this is not necessarily about getting the biggest opening advantage, because in this type of tournament, you just want to have a slightly preferable position, and you can wait for your opponent to make mistakes. That's a very common strategy in blitz. And what's going on here? Whoa! Why would you give this pawn structure? Guys, I don't understand that. He's really playing for a win with that. But as I said, black had totally equalized out of the opening, so a very successful opening here for Christian Kirilla. What's up, Bommelcar in the chat? Saying hello to a few people here. La Vista, what's up, Kofo? 4001. Hello, Anna, Tom, Harper. See a lot of you guys in chat. A few questions already. Is there money on the table? Absolutely. Title Tuesday, There is always money on the table. First Tuesday of every month, there's an early and a late edition, and I believe exactly $1,000 is the prize pool up for grabs. So I believe first is 500, and then it goes down from there. Something like 5, 3, 2, and then a $100 prize. I think there's maybe like a best game prize. I'm not sure, but 5-3-2 is the breakdown. But there is money on the table, guys. That's why there's these big names in this tournament. This is why we got these strong players on chess.com here competing. That's why Nakamura usually plays in this tournament. So there's definitely money on the line. And that's going to motivate people. That's why you don't see many draws. The tournament is 3 minutes plus 2 seconds increment. Remember that. That's very important. It means that hopefully if you have a better position, you're not going to lose on time. You're not going to lose on time with that plus 2 seconds, but don't overestimate that. I've played enough blitz games over the board even to know that 2 seconds, by the time you process your opponent's move, think about your move, and make your move, it's practically 2 seconds right there. So Black with a very nice looking position here. Again, this Grunfeld line did go well for him, but I think that Daniel Naroditsky here, he just wanted to keep playing. He didn't want to go for an easy draw. It's a worse pawn structure, but it is an imbalanced pawn structure, right? It's not totally symmetrical, but Black's going to play moves like king to g7. Will we see bishop e6 here? I imagine knight c5, knight a5. Maybe not knight a5. Okay, queen a5. Interesting. Now we're going to have to see this taken off the board. Knight takes, knight takes. Now, although this pawn structure is bad, guys, you favor Black in this position. Why? Weakness, weakness, and light square bishop, light square pawn chain. Black's going to bring the king to e7, control the d file. Black is definitely slightly better in this endgame. King e2, and then probably knight c4, something like that. So I don't think that Black can lose this endgame, but we will see what happens. What's up, Alberhaski? Tipu Dubai, Mahesh444. Kofo, what line do I like of the Grunfeld with Black? Well, unfortunately, White really picks the lines, so it's kind of a tough question to answer. Can't really say what my favorite line is if my opponent is going to do the choosing. What's up, Nogger? Klimpty Killer. Pure Fan. Nice to see you guys following along. I do have the chat windows open, so definitely want to make this an interactive stream. Chessbender and Bahadir Ozid. Alright, now this endgame is starting to heat up. White is gaining some time here, but that's about it. Black has to decide, you know, this probably will end up as a draw, I would say, but look at the time for Black ticking down slowly. This is the worst thing that can happen is, you know you're in a good position, but the time starts to tick down and oh no, guys, what am I seeing here? It looks like a disconnect. Oh man. Oh, a disconnection. Guys, heartbreaking. Especially with such a nice opening. Oh man. Well, Kirilla goes down on time. This is terrible, guys. I thought that was a very nice game by Kirilla. Had the knight against the bishop, a little bit of an advantage, and oh man, that feels bad. But a win is a win, guys. A win is a win. And what do we got here? Simon Williams, Ginger GM, against Platy 3, I believe. This game looks like it could have been a French win-hour or something. That's what this pawn structure is reminding me of, for sure. Oh, rook takes d5. Oh man, he didn't play rook takes d5. How on earth? I guess he had a mate in mind? Now White's in check? Guys, this is bizarre. I don't know why rook takes d5 wasn't played. What's going on here? Where does the king go? Is he going to go here? Queen f1? Bishop e6. Knight takes f4? Or rook takes e6? Rook takes e6. Guys. Oh, man. Ginger GM with a comeback. That looked like a crazy game. That looked like a crazy game. A lot of the games wrapping up here in round 1. Rook takes e6. Guys. Tactics, tactics, tactics. But, I mean, just to show you guys, anything happens in this time control. I mean, here, what's going on? Rook takes d5, rook takes e5, completely game over, not even close. So that's just a reminder that, you know, in this time control, anything happens. You play on to the very end, and there we go. Pretty nice game there already in round 1. That looked really sharp. So let's see some other games. Top game at the moment, Sajirov here, and guys, FM APL 2001. I remember personally from other Title Tuesdays, he seems to do very well. Just an FM, always maintaining a 2400 rating, but seems to play very well against higher rated players. And that's a skill that in a Title Tuesday event like this, where it is so stacked, it's definitely something that comes in handy. He's defending right now to the best of his ability against Sajirov, but I think, is he losing a rook here? Or he's almost getting mated. He's going to have to put his king there. It looks like check, check, king there, and then g5. That's mate. That's mate, guys. So it's going to be king h5 forced. Okay, he loses a I don't know. I was going to say check, king there, g5. That looks like it wins to me. Should be losing a rook and just take this. Okay, take back with check and take here. There we go. Guys, Sajirov managing to win. I wouldn't say a dead draw position, but certainly a little tricky with the 2 rooks each. Pakistani 007. How am I doing? I am doing very well. I am doing very well. Just here enjoying the games on Title Tuesday. Just here enjoying the games. Alright, h2 and checkmate in 1. Unstoppable. It's really nice to be a commentator sometimes. I get to see all the games, whereas if I was playing, I wouldn't see a single game. And there's a lot of tough players in this tournament right now. Alright. It looks like round 2 is about to start. This is one of the last games going, and oof, what's going on here? Looks like black should be winning, queening the pawn here momentarily, but this is very close. This is very close. I think rook c6 had to be played, and oh, what's going on here? How do I get out of analysis mode? I think I made a move by accident. How do I get out of analysis mode? I recognize this gray screen from Nakamura Carlson. Well, I have no idea actually how to get out of this screen. Very weird. This has never happened before. Maybe some update or something that they think they changed it so viewers could have analysis mode. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh my gosh, rook d7? Oh my gosh. That was disgusting. I'm glad that I fixed the problem for that. Oh man. That's got to be the worst conversion of queen against rook. Gosh, guys, we have seen some insane mistakes already. Upsets, mistakes, tactics, disconnections. We're only in round 1, guys. There's 9 rounds in this tournament, and we're on to round 2 already. Let's take a look at the top seed here. David Howell from England, and he has the white pieces here. Again, 3 minutes plus 2 seconds increment. That 2 seconds does make a difference. But as you can see, it's not making a difference so far with these blunders. Doesn't matter how much time they have on the clock, I'm seeing blunders everywhere. Some of you guys maybe think that queen against rook is a difficult endgame, and I can agree with you, because when you play the computer in practice, the computer knows how to keep his rook outside of a forking square for your queen. But when you play a human queen against rook, I promise you guys, it's way, way easier than you think. Way easier than a human blunders the rook or can't leave it away from the king very long. I find doing that against a human is a lot easier, but against the computer, I definitely agree it's very tricky. Definitely agree it's very tricky. So we might see white go for this move pretty soon, trying to get the dark square bishops off the board. And then suddenly black's left with this light square bishop that's not very good. So I imagine that might be a consideration. And if he takes, I'm guessing that he wants to take back with the pawn and put the knight on d4, something like that. Or maybe knight d6 and try to keep it. That's what I'm predicting, guys. I see a lot of people just joined us. The viewers are going up and up. Welcome, everyone, if you just joined. Title Tuesday on chess.com, early event. There's money on the line, and we got some pretty strong GMs competing here. And we got some pretty strong IMs, FMs looking for some upsets. And we've already seen some pretty crazy results just from the first round. Let's see. What is black going to do here? It's not a great position, because even if the knight goes there or there, I like white already. I might resort myself to a move like h6, which seems like it's going to be useful, stopping this move at some point. Queen d7, are we going to see knight there or knight there? I think that's the big question. Or, because black didn't kick the knight out, is he just going to leave it there? Is he going to leave it there? We could see... Well, if this move, I'm a little concerned about potentially that. Yeah, that looks annoying. So yeah, we will see the knight move because it was on a pretty fragile square. It would be hard to imagine black not taking this knight, but then again, if you take, you really open things up, guys, for knight to e5. So he doesn't want to do that. White's going to gain a bit of time here and probably go back. Yep. And maybe queen d2 or h3. I like h3 a lot, actually. h3 seems like a nice move. Yeah, stopping bishop g4. You don't want that pin. And if something like knight takes e5 trying to be tricky, undermining the knight, I think just knight takes followed by knight g6 will be a killer tactic. Killer tactic. XC Enigma, thanks a lot. Hello Lethbridge Chess and Nitsud Prime in the chat. What round are we in? Railgun. We are in round 2. This has just started about 15 minutes ago, so we're just in round 2. But there's 9 rounds of 3+2 blitz here on chess.com. We are in round 2, about halfway through right now. So we're going to see some pretty close matchups, maybe rounds 3 or 4. But right now we're seeing still pretty heavy favorites. And the real question is, what is going on here? Well, this rook c7, queen c7, knight f7, queen f4, knight d8, bishop d8, rook e6 looks like a winning tactic. That looks like a winning tactic, guys. Rook takes c7, queen takes, knight takes f7. And we're threatening the rook. That can't be captured because the queen hangs. So black has to capture the bishop on f4. And then knight takes d8. And, I mean, what is black doing there? That looks like just kind of game over. And there we go. He has played it. Guys, this looks over. The reason that I started calculating that first, guys, is simply the most forcing thing. Capture requires a recapture. This capture, you know, you're going to lose tons of material unless you capture on f4. And that looks like lights out here for black. David Howell with some very nice calculation. Knight takes d8, and I think this is just game over now. Yeah, that should be it. Rohit Roy is wondering who the top FIDE rated player in this tournament is. Unfortunately, the results here are not really listed by FIDE rating. Of course, they're listed by chess.com rating. So actually, the guy we're watching right now, David Howell, like 2670 FIDE around there. He is the top seed by chess.com blitz rating. By FIDE rating, it must be maybe Andreykin. I would say probably Andreykin by FIDE rating. I'm just trying to think of the other players in this tournament. Got some high 2600s, but Andreykin should definitely be the highest FIDE rated player, I would say, in this tournament right now. Yeah, pawn's gonna go on dark squares because that's a dark square bishop, and we're just gonna see moves like h4, queen d3, king g2. Yeah, guarding that square. Attacking there. Now we might see king g2. There we go. And this looks like after a4 here. I imagine a4 will be played. Okay, white wants queen on d5. Why? It's going to protect this pawn, protect the checking diagonal against the king, also check the black king, also stop b5. A nice central multi-purpose square. We might see queen d5 here, followed by potentially a4. Okay, and a4 first. Same idea. Queen d5, there we go. Now we're probably going to see h4 coming up. h4 is one of those moves you throw in, and if takes there, black wants to take there, but I think he just missed rook b8, game over, queen f5, and GG. No queen d7, there we go, just take the bishop. Queen back, and that's it. Guys, very clean game here by David Howell as white. Very nice. He maintains his lead. And speaking of the highest FIDE rated player, it should be Andreykin. Ah, it's Sam Copeland in the chat. Happy to hear correction. Ponomaryov, not necessarily higher, but someone I missed is also playing. But I think the thing with Ponomaryov is he has a very low chess.com blitz rating. So although he is very highly rated in FIDE rating, somehow he's not the strongest online blitz player. So he's a little lower rated, but ooh, I can't even finish my sentence when Andreykin's doing things like that. Oh, guys, let's get an instant replay, a TSN turning point. Ooh. So king a4. Now after king a4, guys, I would consider this move. Rook takes b2. Is that possible? Knight a5, rook a2, king b3, rook takes a5. I think that's what I would play, because black played bishop b6, b4 takes, and then d6, exclamation mark, guys. That pawn is going to d8, and if takes, which is what happened, boom. What a nice checkmate. What a nice checkmate. There we go. So Andreykin also continues to win here, just in round 2 so far. Nothing too crazy. Who else do we have still going? Let's see here. How's this one going? Unfortunately, it's almost over. But this is Uzbek Tiger. This grandmaster from Uzbekistan started playing on chess.com a lot more recently. I don't know if he did in the past, but he's already about 2,900 in bullet. And I saw him on chess.com, not beating Nakamura by any stretch in a match, but taking a few games off him here and there, which is always tough to do. And he beats the current Dutch champion, Jordan van Foreest here. So pretty nice game there. He moves on to a perfect score, 2 out of 2. And we continue here. The round is just wrapping up, but we do have a few more games still going. Conrad Holt here with white pieces. He was actually one of the games that went the longest the last round. So it seems like he's going for a different sort of prize this tournament, guys. He is going for the longevity prize. He wants his games to go as long as possible. And in both games, he has been dead lost. We'll see if he can hold a draw here. That would be impressive. What is my rating? Oh, guys, my blitz rating is a lowly 20, I think 25, 85, 25, 90, something like that. And oh, look at that little trick there. Is it enough to draw though? F4, good move. Takes, king there, not close enough. Yeah, he has to play here. Gonna see knight g5. Now, if f2, knight e4 takes, should be a draw. Oh, f2, knight h3, a draw. Guys, what did I say? Conrad Holt. How does he do it? So far, we've been seeing some magic. Not necessarily the best play from Conrad because he would obviously like to be winning these games. But the last 2 rounds, how does he save a draw from these dead lost positions? Completely over. That's really, really weird. I don't know what to say, guys. Here, for example, what should we do? Well, here it might already be close to a draw. Here it might already be close to a draw. But I thought that white or black had some chances here, maybe taking first, king g3, and pushing the h-pawn. That looked a lot better. I wouldn't be surprised if that was winning for black there. But man, Conrad Holt once again escapes with a draw from 2 dead lost positions, and he's basically been the last game to finish in both rounds so far. So he's going the distance. He certainly is. All right, let's see. Round 3, guys, just started, and let's spectate some of the guys who have perfect scores. Right now, I'm not going to go through the whole list. There's quite a few people with 2 out of 2. As we get to round 3, 4, 5, I'm going to start updating you guys on the top players. But let's take a look. We haven't seen a game of Andrekin's yet from the start. Here we go. I'll actually flip the board there. Dmitry Andreikin playing black here. Not sure who is playing white. Some grandmaster from the Ukraine. Nimzobo, as far as I know, he is not. That is Robin Van Kampen. There's a question from the crowd: is Robin Van Kampen playing? I don't see his name on the list. So he's either doing very badly, 0 out of 2, or I didn't see his name on the starting list. So I don't think he's playing. Now these are the type of positions I need to study. Like black plays e6 and then later on decides to play e5, and that always surprises me. Always surprises me. Moving the e-pawn twice in the opening, but in this case you justify it. Black just wants to develop like that castle. It's justified only because if white were to take, you help out your center by taking back. Otherwise, I think white would be pretty content with the resulting position. But I would have maybe played knight b3. Here we see some interesting chess. So we're going to see takes, castles. And what, b3? Bishop e6 probably? I have to say in these positions I like white a little bit more just because of the nice pawn structure here. And the fact that black has these 2 weak pawns, but black, gets very active. White's king is tucked away in the corner, and there's a lot of empty space in the center for black's pieces to use. All right. Let's see here. What's up, Shachmat? Speedy Bullet Chess. If you guys have any players who are playing in the tournament that you want to follow, I can do my best to get their games on screen for you, or at least update you on how they're doing in the tournament. Let's see. Let's go back, see what just happened there. Castles, queen d4. Okay, so black gets a very nice regrouping where he basically gets to trade queens, gain time, and then get developed. Now we're going to see rook d8, I think. Must see rook d8, I would imagine. Yeah. Going to see rook d8, and after rook d8, guys, we get a position where, again, the activity favors black, but the pawn structure favors white. So it's a pretty balanced struggle right now. Why is Naroditsky playing Blitz instead of the Title Tuesday? Time player Daniel Naroditsky is playing the Title Tuesday. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Time control is 3 minutes plus 2 seconds, so he is playing the Title Tuesday, actually, if you guys are wondering. People want to see the Soviet chess. We can check in with him next round. I'll keep it in mind. Any Norwegians playing today? I'm sure there's at least some Norwegians playing, but come to think of it, there's not too many titled players from Norway that play these tournaments. So actually, that's a good question. Looking at the list, I actually don't see any. Don't see any Norwegians so far. Yeah, I actually don't see anyone playing from Norway, not today. It doesn't look like it. Sorry there, Andreas. No Norwegians today. If you're Norwegian, you have to get that title soon enough, Andreas, and represent Norway for us here in the Title Tuesday. Yeah, the score beside the players' names that you can see on the screen right now, guys, keep in mind that that is the, oh, wow, he's trading that. Interesting. I was going to say, keep in mind that is not the personal score between the players. It's not like, you know, they're playing a match or something like that. That is their tournament score. Tournament score. People requesting Ginger GM. Yeah, we checked in with him actually in round 1. He had a crazy game, but he is a guy we're definitely gonna get back to for sure. What an interesting endgame. Again, I always feel like white has the advantage with the better pawn structure, but we're probably gonna see g4 here. Probably gonna see g4. White has difficulty creating a pass pawn. He needs to move the bishop. Play c3, b4, b5. That takes a while. I guess the logical result is draw from this position, but black is trying to change that, going for a win. This is pretty intense. Bishop e1 might be the move here. Yep, king f5, and then I would say probably c3. Or king d5, actually. King f5, king d5, g4, take king e4. That might be what should happen. I feel like king there was better, but I think white is actually prioritizing getting to f1. So we must see the move g4, I think. Interesting. Bishop d6. It seems weird to me, guys, just because that bishop was defending the pawn and helping g4, but I think black is realizing that this breakthrough doesn't necessarily work. So b4 is what white wants, so we're going to see bishop e1, bishop g1. Very peculiar moves, I have to say. What is he worried about? He is worried about g4. Okay, he's worried about g4. He's worried about g4, pawn takes, f3, pawn takes, h3, h2, h1, queening. So he's respecting the possibility of g4 and f3. So if bishop e1, I think what he was mentioning was the possibility of g4. I don't think it necessarily works. Pawn takes, and then f3, pawn takes, and then pawn push bishop g3. doesn't work just yet, but when the bishop's here, now I think g4 is a threat. So that's why he puts the bishop to f2. Kind of difficult stuff to understand, but this endgame is a bit tricky. And black can't put the bishop to e5 because then probably c4 and king e4 would happen. Yeah, for those of you that know the breakthrough technique, it's definitely coming in handy in a position like this. This might be a draw just like this. I don't see a way to break through in this position. Black looks like he wants to try something. Yeah, a5. It looks like he wants to try something to win, but I'm not sure that he actually has a way here. Unless he goes for king f5, g4, I don't see a breakthrough. Is he going to try to trick him with some move order? Unless white puts the bishop there when the bishop's on d6, I don't think that this move is going to happen. b4, he doesn't want to go for it. No, he can't go for it. Basically, black is hoping that white gets tempted by a move like c4 or b4. And leaving the bishop there is interesting. Maybe bishop a7 now? c4 and king e5 and bishop there. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Now this pawn is hanging, bishop back, and king f5. And look to play this move. He's certainly playing for the win, guys. This is very, very cool. Definitely like to see players go for the win. Now, can you take that and play g4? I don't think that would be possible. The king would get back. Very tense stuff, guys. Very tense stuff. g4, take. Bishop f2, and what? Well, if you play f3, unfortunately, you take its check, guys. That is a very, very big problem. King g2 and f3. So we're going to see bishop there, probably c6. And now white seems to be getting the upper hand here. Yeah, black has to do that and bring the king up here. Now, it's just going to be a race. I don't think either of these players have calculated, guys, what an endgame. And I think only black would have chances to win here. King there, bishop moves, c7, king takes, king c5. King there. Looks like black sneaks out a win. Is that what's going on here? Guys, game over. Look at that. That's just technique. He wanted to win that position so badly, and he found a way. He found a way to grind it out. That's just very impressive, guys. Very impressive. That's one of those tip your hat moments to Dmitry Andreikin. Definitely one of the strongest players in this tournament, and I believe the highest rated player. FIDE, that is. So what a game, guys. Round 3 only, and we're going to keep going. Who else do we have? Oh, guys, let's take a look at our usual suspect. Our usual suspect, Conrad Holt. And what do you know, guys? Conrad Holt, once again, still playing and still begging for a draw from a worse position. It's the same story every time. We'll watch, all the games we want during the round. We can always rely on Conrad Holt's game being the last one to finish and him trying to get a draw. Well, he's managed the last 2 rounds. 2 draws from 2 dead loss positions. Now this one is a draw, but with the time situation, the fact that it's blitz, anything can happen. But we ever need some late night entertainment, Conrad Holt seems to be providing. Alright, looks like black's just going to wait with the rook. Don't know how white's going to make progress here. Eventually he's got to push g5, I would say. There doesn't appear to be any other way to make progress. Okay, he's going to try to bring the king around. And now here, this is... You want your rook here, ideally. Is he going to play king d5 here? Doesn't work. Now, white should... Ooh, now black can keep the king cut off. That was a mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake there. Yeah, white should have put his king up, brought his king back, put the rook to e6, and then tried to bring his king back, block with the rook. Something like that. But, you know, we're talking about a position that is a draw for sure. Guys, if you weren't able to play in this tournament, or you want to play both of them, there are 2 Title Tuesday events every time this tournament happens. There's Title Tuesday Early Edition and Title Tuesday Late Edition. So keep that in mind, guys. 11 a.m. Pacific is when this one started. 5 p.m. Pacific is when the next one starts. So if you want to play another one, or you want to play, since you couldn't play the early edition, that's your chance. That's your chance. Let's see now. If black takes this and white goes, what's white gonna do? Yeah, black should take. Is white gonna play here and lose? Probably, I don't know. Like, black's gonna win now. How does Conrad Holt manage to not only not lose, but like definitively draw? It seems it's very strange. King g5 and rook g2 is a pretty easy draw. Just leave the rook on the g file. But I'm sure Conrad's probably thinking about winning here. Just rook g3, rook g2, and white's probably going to be shuffling like that. Rook g3, yeah. As long as they both shuffle somewhere on the first 3 files in this box, nobody is going to have a chance to win. But if white plays rook e4, then black can probably try to win. White plays rook e4? No. Santo Blue in the chat trying to register for Title Tuesday. It's definitely too late, as far as I know, to register for Title Tuesday right now, but the next one happens in about 5 hours and 20 minutes. There's another Title Tuesday event that you can join. All right. Wings of Wayne. That's definitely true. That's definitely true. All right. Can you play in this tournament if you're not titled? I'm sorry, unfortunately you cannot. However, the titles extend down to National Master, Candidate Master, so it's not just like FM, IM, GM. I think all sorts of titles are recognized here. But you must be titled, hence it is called Title Tuesday. Title Tuesday. So we're going to keep an eye on definitely the top game. Why? Because it is Dmitry Andreikin against Sinan Sigirov. I actually have a funny story about Sigirov. I guess he must be around my age, because I played the World Youth when I was a really terrible player, but you know, from Canada it's not necessarily the hardest to get to the WICC. You know, you pay your own way, and I actually played Sigirov when he was like 2200 in what I think was the under 12 section. This was in 2004 in Greece. The under 12 section of WICC, and he played the Benoni against me, and I had never seen the Benoni. That is how bad I was at chess. Like, I had never even seen the Benoni before. So I played just like a very bad, extremely bad variation against the Benoni. Like, I was making it up. It wasn't even a thing. And he smacked me. He beat me up in... Probably it was lost in maybe like 12, 13 moves. But he completely killed me, and before the game, I was like trying to talk to him, and he spoke not a word of English. 2200. So I was playing Sigirov and he was 2200, and he became a GM like not too long after that. But yeah, I got to this guy before he was one of the best. So truth be told, guys, this guy trained with Hambleton back in 2004. So yeah, I'd like to say that I had a bit of a role in his success as Grandmaster, really preparing him for the Benoni and critical openings like that. So it's nice to see him prospering here so many years later. And it's nice to see that we've each gone our separate ways. He's gone to GM, and I've gone to commentating on his games. It's amazing where life will take us. So back to the game here. We're going to keep an eye on this one, and I think there's another game that people wanted me to take a look at, but actually I don't think the Ginger GM is doing so well. I don't see his game here on the top games. But I had a few requests for Ginger GM and Soviet Chess, but I don't see their games here on the top games. I think they have 2 points out of 3. So we'll get to be able to get to their games if they win a few in the next couple rounds. But for now, we're gonna stick with the top games here. Yeah, Belmulkar, 2004 under 12 World Youth. I'm coming up to 24 years old this year, so turning into an old man. Thanks to Trophy, buddy. I appreciate those positive comments. Now, this type of position here, I really want to pay attention to how white handles it, because you always get the feeling when you watch stuff like this that black is the one with the stronghold on the position, because he's just on all the dark squares, like right here, when you take. You feel like black is doing well getting the knight there, but suddenly white trades it off with knight a4, and then you start to use the b file, and we're even threatening stuff like bishop takes and e5 potentially. So I want to pay attention here how black handles this position, or excuse me, how white handles this position. Bishop e3 coming up, and I imagine also king h2 and g3. So bishop e3, yeah, now we're going to see rook b8. That's right. Well, guys, it is the beginning of November, so I'm not going to be shaving anymore. This is a one-day beard. This is a one-day beard right now. I promise you this will only improve. This will only improve. Time play. Did Roy's rage quit? Well, I don't actually remember him being in this tournament. Maybe he joined last minute. But no, I don't think he ever joined this tournament. Time playa. Don't think he ever joined this tournament. Soviet Chess has 1 out of 3 for those wondering, and Ginger GM has 2 out of 3, and they're still playing their games right now. But no, I don't think Royce was playing this event. So it looks like Ponomaryov and David Howell drew their game very quickly. So those guys have 3.5 out of 4, but this game is going to decide what looks to be who's going to be leading the tournament, guys. But really nice play by white so far. Definitely have a weakness here, but as you can see, defended by the bishop, this is where the real action is. That pawn on b6 is a big problem. So probably king there. Where's this knight going to go? When you look at the position, this guy is doing an important job protecting the 2 potentially weak pawns in the position. And look, he moves the knight, of course. Why? You look at the position, every piece is pretty much doing exactly what it wants, except this knight. Where does that knight want to be? Well, I would say either on b5 or a4, one of those 2 squares. So we might see this knight try to come to c3, but we also might see it go here to stop knight coming to c5. So we'll see. In the meantime, white's playing the slow moves that improve his position. Will we see this knight being taken? I think so. That's why he put the knight on d3. I guess he didn't want to lose this pawn, but you have to feel that this is wrong. What's he going to do, guys, without even thinking? Bishop c2, bishop a4. That's easily the right option here. Are we going to see queen there? I don't know if he can get away with that. We might see bishop d2 and trying to play bishop takes a5 in some way. But you know what white wants to do. All the pawns here, guys, on light squares, so he wants to trade off light square bishops. That's why it's easy to predict this idea, bishop to a4, once you understand, you know, these light squares, those are the targets. So we'll probably see king g2, h4, h5 is what white wants to play eventually. Also, I think that this pin is going to be very important, the potential of bishop takes a5. So let's see if he plays rook over and h4, h5. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. He also wants to threaten the idea of bishop to a4. White's a little bit better. I wouldn't be surprised if black could draw, but I predict this is going to be a win just because, guys, it is so tough to play this accurately with low time, move after move. So now we see the h4, and why did he play a4, guys? He didn't want b5 to happen. He didn't want black to open things up with counterplay. So now I imagine this rook is going to go over to h1, and there it goes. Black starts to swing over to bishop a5. He forgot about, oh, bishop a5 was hanging there. I don't know, that could have been taken. Bishop a5 looked possible, guys. Maybe missed that. We're going to see rook h2. Got to be careful of f5 coming. Maybe bishop c3 as well. Black wants to put the bishop right there. I think we're going to see king e2, bishop c3. I don't really like what white's done the last couple moves. Black looks all right now. I think black is holding on here. But I certainly think that, let's say bishop e3, king d2. Yeah, king d2. I certainly think that white missed bishop a5 there. I think that was an option. Yeah, rook a8 is an option, Shakmat, but I would easily trade these two pawns in this position. That gives me an open file to enter. I would definitely do that. So why does he put the king there, guys? Important to understand, he's defending the pawn with the king, so now that bishop is not tied down to c2. But what are we going to see here? h5, g5, black's going to play, and unfortunately it's just too locked up. So I think we're going to see g5, maybe queen a1, something like that in the future. g5 with f4 coming. That's an idea. So maybe queen b2 and start to target this pawn again. Queen b2, rook b1, and you have the d6 idea. Maybe white wants to put the bishop on h3. There's so many different possibilities here, guys. I'm just speculating about which one he may choose. But again, this is Andreykin grinding out a potential victory. I think with the time situation and the way white is slowly pressing in this position, that it looks good. And after g5, if he plays f5, there's h5 coming. Are we going to see h5 now? Yep. h5 now. Takes. You can do queen takes, but I don't know about that. Here you can take on f6 and then take on h5, or you can do this one. I'm not sure that this is necessarily enough. I would have probably taken that if I was black there. Queen takes, rook h6, guys. Oh, did he just fall for it? What are we missing? Queen g2? Queen g2? Tricky, tricky. Is he going to sack it? That's the question with bishop takes e5. Yep. With low time for black, that's exactly what you do. And if rook there's queen g5. So he has to go for it all. And after rook a1, I imagine you can just take it, followed by king b3 and queen b2. And then you're threatening checkmate there. That's game over. That should be game over now. White just has an extra piece. Should be game over. e5, e6, e7. Yikes. Yeah, he's sacking pawns, but guys, this is the end of the line here. Check, and we're gonna see e6 next. Yeah, yeah. That's enough. That's enough. That was a nice game. That was definitely a nice game. Andreykin, guys, so far has been playing really, really nice chess. Really nice chess. No, Robin van Kampen is not playing today. It would be nice to see a Title Tuesday in a Chess 960 format. That's certainly interesting. You'll definitely... I mean, it's hard to entice people to play that. That's for sure. I mean, people are always going to prefer the standard form. So I think this format's pretty good right now. But, you know, in the future, that's definitely an idea. But I really like... I really like the classic blitz format, especially the +2. Really sort of enforces good chess. No flag. Oh, that's weird. Conrad Holt's game isn't on. This game went too long. Conrad finished. That's a rarity. I think there's just a couple games left in the round. This is one of them, and this looks like a draw. Should be a kind of easy draw here. Definitely do not take that rook. Rook f1. Yeah, okay, they're going to draw that. No sense playing that out. And one more game left in this round. And here it is. White looks like he's about to go down. Unfortunately, there's no stalemate tricks, just b3. b3. Nice move. b2. No stalemate, guys, so I don't think we'll see this one lasting too long. Yeah. There we go. All right. That is round 3 in the books. Round 4 coming up. Will I play the later event? Some people are asking. I'll most likely play the later event. Most likely. If all goes well. But it's definitely a lot of stress to play the early and the late event. So it's nice to commentate this one, and if possible, I think I'll play the later event tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. So I should be here. Alright, getting into round 5, guys. Getting into round 5. We got 4 rounds in the books. Round 5 now, we're just getting over the halfway mark of the tournament as we play this round out. And let me just update you guys on the standings. We got Andreykin, we got Daniel Naroditsky, 4 out of 4 each. We also have Grandmaster Drags 95. Not exactly sure who that is, but 4 out of 4. Perfect score. So let's first of all get this game on your screen. That's David Howell with white playing against Dmitry Andreykin with black. And continuing to look at the standings here, we got a lot of people chasing at 3.5 points. Lawrence Trent, 3.5 points, doing very well. Simon Williams, 3 out of 4. So things are, those are some of the players you guys wanted me to check up on. Let's see if we can get some of those games on the screen. Where is Simon's game? Always, people always want to check in on the active play we can guarantee from Simon Williams. d5. Now, after knight c7, who here thinks Simon is going to play rook b8? Not me. I think he would play a move like g5 in that position. So we'll see if white goes for it, but knight c7, it's not even his instinct probably to move the rook. So pawn takes. If knight takes, of course he does fall into knight c7 after bishop takes, but the way that I'm looking at this position is knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes, knight c7, queen f3, right? You gotta ask yourself, guys, what would Simon do? He would play queen f3, look for bishop h3. So that's going to take some careful play here by white to be accurate enough. But I think he's looking to really spice things up. I get the feeling that when the rooks are hanging, sometimes Simon doesn't even notice, and that's That's an admirable quality. But he's got a nice position here, guys. He's got an extra pawn, and his opponent's so scared of all these tactics, he's not going for any of them. There you go. Simon's just got a good old-fashioned chess position that if white wants his pawn back, he's going to have to, give up 2 bishops or something silly, and I don't even think it works. This just looks good. It looks good for black. Up a pawn for nothing. A6 coming. Bishop g4 coming. I like Simon's position a lot here. Let's take a look at Andreykin's game. I'm just going to back up a bit. This is where we left off. Okay, so black got the queen exchange, which is very important. But at the same time, we've entered an endgame. How is this pawn going to get defended here? That's what I'm wondering. So, okay, he takes with the bishop. I was going to say, if rook takes, then we would be worried about that pawn. White wants to play f4, bring the king up. If that happens without black making any serious threats, I think I prefer white by far in this endgame. f4, knight d5, take, a3. I think white has a slight advantage. Not a lot, though. Not a lot. We might see knight d5 here. I wouldn't be surprised. Knight d5, take, bishop takes, a3, and maybe rook c8, trying to play rook c1. Because the thing with white's position, guys, is it's very open. So if a rook ever got to the 2nd rank, that would be a problem. But boom, these guys just agree to withdraw. They didn't want to fight that one out. Andreykin leading the tournament, doesn't have the motivation, I guess, to continue that one. Checking back in with Ginger GM. Look at that, guys. As predicted, he just has a better position here. Better position. And let's take another look at the top boards, because we have Daniel Naroditsky and Drags95. Both of these guys leading the tournament with perfect scores. And we just saw Andreykin draw, so these are the last guys here going for a perfect score. The last time I commentated a Titled Tuesday, it actually saw Alexander Bortnik from Ukraine go 9 out of 9. 9 out of 9. That's unprecedented. That's pretty insane. He won every single game. So if these guys want to match that, one of them has to be victorious from this game right here. Yeah, Elm 2007. I tend to agree. I do like white there, but he did agree to a draw. Andreykin is Andreykin after all. And here white is getting pushed around, or sorry, black, excuse me, is getting pushed around a little bit. After rook takes d4, rook takes a3. This pawn is kind of equal to these 2 pawns there. I think I would have preferred probably just take this pawn, right? No need to hang on to that. He's really trying to win everything, so I understand what he's doing. But now, what do we think about rook there? Takes, king e2. Yeah, probably tough to hang on to. Probably too tough. Probably too tough. Yeah, definitely looks like black is much worse in this endgame. We'll see if he can hold a draw. So he does go into the bishop endgame. And after takes, king e2, king d6, we'll probably see f4. And then we might see, what, f5? Does f5 work? I think we might see f5. We'll see. He has to be a little bit accurate here, but I feel like he is going to be able to win this pawn. So take, f4 should be what's going to happen. Take, f4. f4 first. Allows bishop g4 check. King there. And I guess he wants to take the pawn with the king. I guess it still works. g5, we're going to see g3, of course. I would say almost a force move. Yeah, there it is. And white needs to keep this pawn on a dark square. If white pushes, the pawn like that, then he's definitely going to be worse. So we're going to see rook a2, rook d2, and then probably rook a3. And now the question is, how does white make progress? f5? What's he planning here? Rook d7, it looks like. Bishop has to go to c8, guys. That's the only reason white would play a move like f5. Now look at this bishop, totally trapped. What are we going to see next? What's the next part of the plan? I'm really thinking about a move like e5. Or Let's see. He wants to do this and probably play... Now, here's the thing. White probably doesn't care about that pawn because the bishop and pawn are very strong. Staying like that, this pawn is pretty irrelevant, I would say, to White's plan. G4 is kind of tempting to play E5 and F6. Okay, he's giving up this pawn, and what's coming up? E5? What's he planning? I don't fully understand this one. He's going to have to play E5, right? I don't really get it, unless he's going for a draw here, but that's really messing this one up. I think White was way better here. I think White was way better there. Hello, Agent JL, and Cuz789, and BJH. G4. So he's threatening E5 now. I think that's what he wants, but guys, I really don't agree with the moves we've seen so far. Are we gonna see Black? No way. Are we gonna see King B8 trying to play for a win? We are. Look at that. That's weird. King B8 playing for a win. So Black senses, because White was blundering the pawn, that he's playing for a win now. And what? Is that some lag or something? I saw White's time ticking down there. Okay. There we go. Rook to H4. Who's ahead in the match? That's a good question. I still think that that White should be doing okay, but I don't know. Rook here. We're gonna see. No, Rook F8 doesn't work. We can play Rook takes. I don't know why he would take that pawn, but again, I don't think Black should be worse here. Bishop comes to E6, and then King can come to D6. That's just, the turnaround here was incredible, guys. I don't know how these blunders happen, but I shouldn't say that because I've played these Title Tuesdays, and trust me, I've made way worse than these blunders. Way worse. Rook takes. Oh, Bishop D5. He's really greedy. He wants all the pawns. I like it. I like the greed there. I like the greed. King takes. Wow. Some real greed. Okay. He's got to take with the king. Why doesn't he do that? There we go. King back. King up now. Black should be winning this. Daniel Naroditsky, guys, only hope for a perfect score, 9 out of 9. Let's see if he can do it. Rook F5. Now, Rook F3. Ooh, he missed that move. So did I for a split second, but unfortunately, all White has is split seconds to think of his moves. So that's what happens. Time pressure, time advantage. It means a lot, guys. All right, we're coming to the end of round 5 here. Round 6 about to start in just a minute. Victor Mikhailovsky against Uzbek Tiger, only 2.5 points on these guys. That's how strong this tournament is, guys. Let's put that in perspective. Uzbek Tiger is a pretty high-rated blitz player, but not doing so well in this tournament. But when people who are like FMs and NMs are playing so well and beating title players, we see so many upsets in Title Tuesday. That's why it's one of my favorite tournaments. Except when I'm playing in it, because then I'm the victim of those upsets. So, not the best. Not the best. But when I'm watching, it's certainly very nice to see the amount of upsets. Now, offhand, looking at this position, I feel like it should be a draw, just the way that the pieces are, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Can we just keep the king cut off? Yeah, just keep the king cut off. Yeah, this should be a draw. From what I know about other similar positions, rook endgames and something like that, I would say it has to be a draw. Now, that's not to say that Black cannot win, right? Don't get me wrong. Black could definitely win the position, but I think it will be a draw. We're just gonna see rook. Oh, okay, rook there. That looks. Is that extra accurate? And just bring the king. Yeah, just king h3 and okay, rook takes, and they'll agree to a draw. And I think that is the end of the round, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look. Oh, we got I think one more game. Oh, we're here in time for a checkmate. I get the feeling this one's been going on for a while. White is just messing around with him. Alright. Alright. White's just messing around with him. I think we're at the end here of round 5. And that means round 6 is coming. These are coming up to the important rounds. We're going to see some very tough matches. These are going to decide who's going to be winning this tournament, guys. Early event, Title Tuesday. Make sure you guys get in here. For those that just joined us, we're pretty much watching a showdown between Daniel Naroditsky and Dmitry Andreikin. Andreikin playing probably the best chess this tournament, but Naroditsky stringing together win after win, undefeated so far. I should say Andreikin's undefeated as well, but Naroditsky has not surrendered a single point, not even a draw. So he's still going for the perfect score, and guys, we're watching no other game than Daniel Naroditsky against Dmitry Andreikin. So this is the game of probably the tournament. Going to decide everything here, guys. So stay tuned. This is exciting. All right, what do we have here, guys? It looks like started off as a London system, and after c5, White decided to just take. The London system is so fashionable nowadays, guys. Carlsen with some success with it, in classical games as well as, of course, blitz, but people really preferring to play the style of blitz nowadays, where you appreciate that the engine, you're able to sort of equalize fairly easily in a lot of top openings. And in blitz, why wouldn't you just play the London system, where you're guaranteed, just a small, preferable position, more playable position. You may as well take a small advantage like that in today's modern chess, where the computer is capable of so much type of preparation. Just avoid everything, play the London system. It's probably the most popular opening for blitz, especially for White. Anybody who plays White can basically play d4, bishop f4, knight f3, e3, c3 without having to think too much. So I think that's the idea. We might see g takes f3 here, guys. I'm really thinking of that move. Queen takes f3 is obviously the more natural, maybe better move. But I think what's happening is knight d7, takes, and just how do we defend that pawn? Queen comes to a5, and it starts to get a little tender. So queen a5, and I imagine knight d7, or if bishop d4, maybe rook e8, threatening e5. It's a little tough to defend that pawn. So if black gets the pawn back, I think he's much better. If not, then I think we're in for a very interesting struggle where White is just hanging onto the pawn for dear life. But after e4, it seems like that's not the kind of game he's going for. Are we going to see take and take? Black's definitely a little better with this monster bishop in that case. Yeah, not pawn takes, because then White would probably consider taking, followed by queen takes d5. In this case, though, I do like black. White's pawn structure is better. We've actually seen Andreikin with this pawn structure 2 games in a row now. Or maybe not in a row, but 2 games this tournament. But in this case, it's a little easier to understand that playing b3 is not the kind of move White wants to play here. So unfortunately, I think black is actually doing very well. Rook d8, rook b8. And defending b2 is pretty tricky here. Black just has better pawn structure. We're going to see a5, a4, rook b8, rook d8, something like that. This queen side is going to come under some pressure. Black's not up material here, but it's the kind of position that, especially in blitz, you really prefer playing black here. You're the one who can put the pressure, and a guy like Andreikin, we've seen him put pressure in every game so far, not necessarily from a winning position, but a slightly better position, maybe even just preferable. and he's managed to win almost every position that's happened that way. So we'll see if he can do it again here. Slightly prefer black, but by no means winning. Which is my favorite, the Coley or the London system? I would say probably the London system. I just like having that bishop on the outside of the pawn chain. There, schism. White has the queenside pawn majority. Oh, I did that thing again where I accidentally touched the board. There we go. White does have queenside pawn majority, La Vista 1. Definitely something to keep in mind. But another thing to notice, La Vista, is that this pawn majority is a little different than usual. You maybe normally see this pawn here on b7, white with a pawn on c4. Then I would say white has a clear pawn majority, a healthy one. You can create a pass pawn here. If white plays b4, he's got a weak backward c-pawn. If white plays c4, which he just did, then normally, you'd have to be very careful. If you have to take back with the pawn, that's suddenly an isolated pawn. It's a pass pawn, it's also an isolated pawn. So I would say white has to be a lot more careful. And there we see he's putting some pressure on it. We might see rook to c8. We might see a5, a4. This pawn majority is not as clean as we'd like it to be from white's perspective. But we're going to see king coming to d3 here. I would be surprised to see anything else. Black's king, oops, going to come to d6 like that. We're going to reach this sort of impasse where both players in this game want to do the same thing. Yeah, there's the a5, a4 that we expect. And there's so much pressure here, La Vista, it's really hard to get your pawn majority going. It's very tough to make a pass pawn. You could argue that this is a pass pawn, but it's not able to move just yet. Not able to move just yet. Rook b7. This is a slow maneuvering game. Andrei can be playing the same style. We'll see what happens in this endgame. As the time gets lower, it's gonna get a lot trickier. Ooh. Rook g3. Must have missed this one. Getting out of the pin there, very sneaky. And now, if black takes back here, he's gonna have a very bad pawn structure. So are we gonna see rook takes, and then rook a7, and then maybe pawn takes, rook a2, king e3, and then rook b7. White would be slightly better there. Or he wants to do the real grind where, take a look at these pawns, guys. Andrei missed rook g3, and now white is significantly better. Rook takes, king e6, rook back. But I think he's got to take this pawn. Yeah, takes, king there. And technically speaking, this is a draw. I don't think Andreikin's going to have too hard of a time here, but really what a turnaround by Naroditsky. Let's see if he can pull it off. Time advantage, extra pawn. Really flip that one around. Yeah, there's a lot of people playing who are playing on some pretty serious time zones right now. You have to remember, some people are playing crazy times in the morning or the night for them. But that's why there's 2 Title Tuesday events, because it's always going to be possible, hopefully, to find one that suits you. There's one in about 4 hours and 40 minutes. That's the 2nd edition. So that's where you guys will be playing if you couldn't make this one. I know I will be playing that one as well. Sleep is for the weak, from a random guy in chat. That's his username. That's not me calling him a random guy. I agree. Sleep is for the weak. So what are we going to see here? White's trying to use this outside h-pawn as a way to try to win. We're going to see rook b6, probably king g6. Just shuffle the rook, I imagine. Not much to do here. Check, rook back. rook check, king g6, and rook over here, or king g4, and try to play h5. Yeah, so then we get this position, king g7, and then rook a5, and definitely should be a draw here. Rook b7 and just wait. But white's going to play king f5 and push and maybe take here. It is a draw, but definitely tricky. Something I would be certainly scared to play if I was playing on Draken here. That's for sure. We got it. We're just waiting for h6. When is h6 going to happen? Rook d5. Probably get the rook as close to the king as possible, and now go for h6. It is so tough to play black here, guys. Whether or not you know it's a draw, this is a brutal position to play in blitz. Ibrahim, what type of pawn structure creates a pass pawn? Well, it's not that you can't create a pass pawn in this pawn structure here for white. We're talking about a lot earlier. It's just that black has so much pressure, so many pins, so many pawns to attack your pawns with, the a pawn, the d pawn. So it's more difficult than normal to create a pass pawn. But you create a pass pawn the same way. You just judge how easy it is to do that. Tricky, guys. Takes. King takes. King e7. King g5. King e6. Winning. Now, after takes, now hang on, guys. This might be a winning position here. It's going to be close. Are we going to see rook here, rook here? I think that must be the only plan here. I think this might still be a draw, guys, with best play, but we can't always count on that in blitz. He wants to play king f7. Ooh, I thought he would play king f7 there, but then king g5. Yeah, that's right. So if rook e7, we're gonna see. Okay. Now what? King g5, f6, king g6. That should be a draw. And I think here black's actually managed here. No, I don't see the way now. This is an easy draw. Easy draw. King e7, just make sure you guys don't take the pawn, but he did earn his draw here. There we go. Wow. What a struggle. So there we go, guys. That's why you study rook endgames. Draken holding on. This looks scary here, but he maintains the 7th rank. If I was white, I would probably at least try this move, but then the idea is after check, if king f7, then king g5, and there's no way to push your pawn afterwards. So there you go. Endgames, boys. Endgames. Super important. Black earns a draw, but that means Daniel Naroditsky leading the tournament clear 5.5 out of 6. And we have a few people chasing Dmitry Andreikin, Yevgeny Shaposhnikov, Zavin Andreasyan, 5 out of 6, Drags 95. This is going to be a lot of people chasing for first place. No one's really running away with the tournament so far. Lawrence Trent, 4.5 out of 6, needs to be mentioned. What a score for him. Somehow I always find myself saying that Lawrence Trent does really well in the Title Tuesdays. He's been doing well lately. There we go. That is the end of the round, guys. That's the end of round 6. Coming up, round 7. These are the money rounds. Round 7, round 8, round 9. Top board, Daniel Naroditsky. Up there is Andreikin. Ponomaryov as well, 5 points. So we got some tough matches at the very top of the field. But this is a very tough event. We don't have the heavy hitters, guys. Nakamura absent. MVL is not playing. We don't even have too many active chessbrahs playing the tournament. So I'm hoping to do some representing in the late night edition. Eric Hansen is going to host that on chess.com, and I'm hoping to play that myself. So getting into round 7, guys. Let's follow Daniel Naroditsky. He's leading the tournament right now. He's the guy to follow. I already updated you guys on the standings, but Naroditsky clear first. That's what you guys need to remember. So we're gonna follow him, and also a guy that we haven't taken a look at so far, Georg Meyer, only 4.5. Bit of an underperformance for what he's, I would say, what he's used to or what he's looking for here in this tournament. He usually does a bit better than this, but 4.5. I'm not sure if he's even lost. He might have just had a couple draws. He's the type of player that isn't necessarily afraid of a draw, but he's like Andreykin, trying to grind out those positions. And in this tournament, Andreykin fortunate enough to be able to win almost every slightly equal position that he's been grinding out, and maybe Georg Meyer just wasn't as fortunate. All right, knight e4. So white gives up the light square bishop. Always a concession, big concession. But if he didn't, black was going to play knight f6 and put a knight on e4. Would you rather a knight or a pawn on e4 for white? I guess in white's perspective, you'd rather the pawn. So the question is white going to take on d7? That's what I'm wondering. I would expect moves like that, queen b3, rook c1, maybe a4, a5, something like that. I should say a4, black's going to play a5, so not the hottest move. But yeah, rook c1 or queen b3, I would say. Rook c1 or queen b3. What is the structure of the tournament? Well, it's just 9 rounds, 3 + 2 blitz, and it's just a regular Swiss format. So no accelerated pairings, nothing funny like that. Just regular tournament format, Swiss pairing system. You can't avoid anybody who's chasing the leaders. Ibrahim, no, I'm not, but I'm certainly aware of that fact. Yes, it is definitely from that part of the world. Queen f6. What's going on here? Seems to me like Shaposhnikov here playing white. Preferable position, but not even close to winning, I would say. Opposite bishops always provide drawing chances for either side. And you have to keep in mind, this pawn is a liability for white. Always has to be monitored. Whereas this knight, on the other hand, is extremely strong. Extremely strong. Is this Title Tuesday? Yes, yes it is. Welcome in the chat, G Fibonaccios. This is Title Tuesday. Early edition. We still have a late night edition coming up soon. Which opening do I think is the best? Well, I don't know if you're talking about classical play or blitz, but great opening, as I was mentioning earlier, is the London system. Great opening for blitz, even for classical chess. London system is getting very, very popular, very fashionable lately. Easy enough to play with white, especially if you're a d4 player. I would say probably the London system with white. That's my best advice for you, buddy. We got Danny Wrench in chat here with a few comments about my hair. I can accept all these comments, guys. This isn't new hair, but definitely going for a matted down look today. Going for the forbidden Shaolin monk look, the matted doormat look. But you know, it's you can mess around. We're probably gonna be growing the beard and everything. That the whole face is gonna be covered in a forest from Movember. So, you know, am I gonna keep the hair on top? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it's gonna look, guys. If I keep my hair, with the beard and mustache coming in. So that's to be determined. I have to make a fashion call on that one. All right, this is Gorgmeyer here. That game unfortunately just ended in a draw, guys. A bit anticlimactic. We want to see it played out, but these guys, you gotta understand, they're playing for money. They're looking at their tournament standing. So unfortunately, that's the way she goes, bud. That's the way she goes. Let's make sure we pay attention to the second board here, because a chance to catch Daniel Naroditsky, who just drew. Here's Andreykin. Here's Andreykin with white. My girlfriend might leave me without hair. Well, I can say that I've already shaved my head on the chessbrah stream. That's already happened, and there's a video of that on the chessbrah YouTube channel. And we made it through that, so I don't think I have to worry about that. If it happened once, I think that was the test. And now that I know it's okay, I'm not too worried about it. Not too worried. What do I think about Accelerated Dragon? Good opening. Definitely like Accelerated Dragon. A bit too much theory for me personally. I don't like openings that are that theoretical. Find it a bit annoying. Not too fun to study your play. Not too fun to study your play. But good opening. Definitely playable. Definitely very good. But personally, I hate stuff that's that theoretical. This is, I believe, Mishra Swayams playing black here from India. Unless someone just has the exact same username. But it seems to me like this is Andreykin pushing a little bit against Swayams here. We see a very typical maneuver when you have the fianchetto to just push the h-pawn, attacking the g-pawn, open up some lines. We see this opening up. We see this pawn weak. After rook takes there, what is he planning? Queen e2? Yeah, I was just going to say queen e2. He wants to play this, queen g4, some really serious threats over there. We might see him move like knight d3 here. Sorry, not just yet, I was going to say, but actually after rook a6, rook c7, knight c7, he may want to play that position or something. Knight f4, knight h5. But with 9 seconds left, guys, I feel here like white is tactically worse. Yeah, he's worse by position, but we'll see if time pressure plus a little bit of magic, a little bit of trickery can help Andreykin here, because I actually think black is better here. Black should be able to pull this one off. White is much worse. Queen f3. Oh, queen f3, that looked killer. Queen f3 threatening rook d1 and mate. Oh, guys, queen f3, if he had played that, I think that was lights out. I think that was lights out. Oh, my goodness. He wins on time. Incredible, guys. Incredible. We've seen a few disconnections. We've seen some unfortunate flags. Guys, that sucks. That is really too bad. That was the first game that we've seen so far where Andreykin really got lucky. But I can say for sure that the good players deserve to get lucky. That's something that that's a quote that I always have always believed in. The good players deserve to get lucky. And you see a good player getting this lucky. It doesn't happen very often. Usually they're able to just pull it off naturally. But it's something that I think is true. The good players do deserve to get lucky, because it doesn't happen all the time. All right, that is going to set us up for round 8 coming up soon enough. And guys, a big pile up near the top of the tournament with 6 out of 7. A lot of undefeated players, but a lot of 6 out of 7s. So let's see what's going on here. David Howell. We want to check back in with him, and it looks like he is in a drawn endgame right now. But it looks like he's trying to win. This is one of the easier ones to draw. Why is that? You put your king in the opposite corner of your bishop color, and then you just shuffle your bishop on the 2 squares like that. And you can bring it wherever. But to basically just leave your king in the corner and leave your bishop here. And it's really hard to checkmate, because even if you bring the king in all the way to a3, king a1, bishop here, and you check, bishop goes there, you can't go there because it's stalemate. So this is a known theoretical draw, but also not a very difficult one. Not a very difficult one. So white's going to try to win, but I think he should be able to hold it here. Maybe rook check. And this is the type of position I'm talking about. Bishop goes here, and this is what I mean. It's really hard to win, because black just kind of shuffles bishop here back and forth. Ooh. Oh man. What a huge blunder. You never ever put your bishop there. You never put your bishop there. Guys. Elementary stuff. Guys, elementary stuff. When you're defending this endgame, you always make sure that your bishop has somewhere to go, where, like here, for example, where you could give a check. Does this one work? Hang on, let's make sure. This one, and then bishop goes back. Yeah, that one should be working. But if you go here, you see what I mean. You have no check. Oh man. Well, Title Tuesday is where you see all of the theoretical endgames on display, and you often see people losing them. I see that all the time. Fortunately, it hasn't never happened to me, but it does happen all the time. All right, this is over. This is a dead draw. These guys can call it quits. It snowed in Michigan this weekend. Oh my goodness. In Canada, it is raining and stuff. It's not even close to snow. It's a little chilly, but for this time of year, it's quite brisk. Quite brisk. All right. Let's get ready for the next round, guys. Money rounds. Round 8, round 9. Last 2 rounds of this Title Tuesday early edition. Let me update you guys on the standings. 6 out of 7. Daniel Naroditsky. It's also Dmitry Andreikin and Grandmaster Fireheart 92 from India. Can't confirm who that is. I'd have to check for you guys, but 6 out of 7. Let's take a look at those 2 games. Daniel Naroditsky against Fireheart 92. And we're also going to jump back and forth between Andreikin and Shaposhnikov. But let's stick with this one for now. We haven't really seen the games of Fireheart 92. Let's see. That is Adiban Bhaskaran. That's great. That's great. Adiban has been doing really well lately. I mean, he's coming up to 2,700. Unfortunately, he just played Millionaire Chess and dropped some rating there. But otherwise he's really he put in a performance at the Olympiad very recently. Adiban has been gaining rating and just playing very good chess lately. So he's like one of the next 2,700 club members. I'm sure of it. And we see here, I haven't seen him play on chess.com too much, but obviously, he's going to show up for the money tournament, absolutely. So he's playing black here. Very good player from India. good friend of mine. Have a few stories about Adiban. I actually played the Millionaire Open, so I saw him there. But I'm sure that's a tournament he's going to want to forget. So on to this tournament where I don't think I've ever seen him play before. Maybe that's wrong. But personally, I've never seen Adiban play the Title Tuesday. But maybe he hasn't, and I've just missed him. Queen D1. Takes bishop E2 and castle. I'm assuming, like, in these positions, white wants the castle as quick as possible. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen here. We might see take and what, bishop b5 with knight d4 on the horizon, also rook c1 coming. Only the queen's traded, so every other minor piece still on the board. Still very dynamic position. What are my views on becoming a good chess player? Does it have something to do with genes? Well, I'll say no to that. Just that I think hard work and study pays off. You can definitely accelerate the process by not necessarily good genes, but like having good study habits or natural talent and stuff like that already built in. But otherwise, I would say definitely doesn't have to do with that. You work the hardest, you're probably guaranteed the most significant results. All right, guys, getting into it here. It looks like it's going to be a 1-pawn advantage here for Adiban, or I kind of expected white to take this one just to have the opposite color bishops, but after rook takes on d5 here, we might see rook d8. And why do we like black in this endgame? He has the 2 against 1 pawn majority. 2 against 1 pawn majority, guys. Cuz789, I'm following the chats on chess.com TV and on twitch.tv/chess. So yes, there are 2 chats for anyone wondering what I'm babbling about and you don't see the question. But we got about 600 viewers here, guys, on this Title Tuesday early event. Thanks everyone for joining, for watching. This is pretty exciting. We're in the money rounds here, the last 2 rounds, so it should be pretty exciting. I think I prefer black here, but white has the active play. Yeah, h4 comes king g2, a4, a5. I think white has the easier position to play, but black arguably has the better position. f6 stops the knight from coming to e5. And we might see king g3, we might see a4. These are all possibilities, but in the end, this pawn majority here, as we were talking about pawn majorities a bit earlier, this is the type where the pawn majority is not weak at all, and it's very easy to make a pass pawn in the future. So this is what I'm talking about when I say a healthy pawn majority, right here. This is a good example. Well, Mako06, you're probably gonna have to just catch us while we're streaming. We always play games against the audience or anyone on chess.com when we're streaming, so I'm sure you'll be able to get a game there soon, my friend. Rook f5, threatening h6. King g3 coming up soon. I would put that rook on c2, and as I say that, black plays bishop b2. Kind of strange. Very strange, in my opinion. Now, the way that the last couple moves have happened, I think black really kind of messed things up. Why? Because look at all the counterplay. The knight is way over here. The bishop is like going to the corner. I think white is going to play on here for a win rather than go rook c1. h6 is a consideration, knight g5 is a consideration. Just king g3, king g4 activating the king also looks very reasonable. Maybe even knight e5 and knight g4. Wow. Well, maybe he's going for the draw because of the tournament situation. I think that black can claim a draw here. Has it been 3 times? It has been 3 times. They go for a draw. That's interesting. I feel like black did have a good position with the possibility of the pawns in the endgame, but you know, these guys are going into the last rounds. They just want to finish top 3 to finish in the money. So it looks like a draw there. Both of them moved to 6.5, and we're gonna take a look at that other board. This is Andreikin with a slightly better position against Sapochnikov, but unlike his other positions, grinding out a win here looks very tough because black also has everything under control with the pressure on d4. My guess for the World Championship, I don't think anybody, unless they know something that we don't, could really say Karyakin. So yeah, of course I'm going to say Carlsen, but you're never really going to have a World Championship match that's decisive. I mean, Karyakin earned his spot there. He's no slouch. You're not going to get a one-sided World Championship match. So it'll be very tough for sure, but despite how resilient and great defensive player Karyakin is, I don't think that he's really capable of winning enough games on demand. If you think about who has capabilities of winning on demand, I feel like Carlsen jumps to mind a lot more than Karyakin. But we'll see if Karyakin can be real tough with the black pieces because he's a very good defender and his preparation is very, very good. So we'll see if Carlsen has some insane preparation, which would be a little twist for him. I mean, he's very well prepared, but he often tries to go out of theory in the opening and try to make something happen that way. He just wants to play chess. But we'll see. I'm very excited for the match. I know that it's not going to be a blowout either way, so you'll probably get a lot of games. It should be a good match. I would say Carlsen, though. That's my prediction. Alright, here we see Andreikin playing for the tournament lead. And Sapochnikov trying to hold on for a draw, it looks like. Anything can happen though, guys. This could turn around at any moment. There you go. The pawn structure is so imbalanced. Somebody is probably going to win this game. What are we going to see? Rook d8? Oh, wait. Why not rook d8? Rook d8? I guess he didn't want queen h5? That seemed weird. I thought rook d8 was pretty strong there. Now you got to worry. If you're black, you're thinking about maybe playing for a win. Do we see king a2 here? I say playing for a win even though you're down a pawn with black. Any endgame, this pawn rolls a lot quicker than anything white can do. g3, yeah, look at this pawn. Look how fast it's going. There's no threats for white. What happens on g2? Rook a8. Oh, he's tricky. He's tricky. There, rook there. Oh man. Oh man. That's determination. He wanted to win so badly. I'm pretty sure that black must have a way out here. After queen e8, there must be some type of accurate move that should be played here. Maybe queen f3. Maybe queen f3, but then queen e6 back, and you probably have to queen h5. After g2, rook there. How do you defend this square? It's very hard to do. What a tough position. You have to play. No, I can't even recommend a move here, guys. Andreikin, very, very sneaky player. There's no queen e5. The rook's hanging. Everything. No queen g6 because of mate. Somehow that looks like very forcing. Anyway, that puts Andreikin into the lead, guys. Clear first, 7 out of 8. 7 points out of 8, guys, and we've got Adiban 6.5, Daniel Naroditsky 6.5. A lot of people at 6.5 chasing, but it pretty much comes down to what Andreikin does in the last round. Whether he goes for a draw, just try to secure tie for first. He has very good tie breaks, or whether he wants to play for a win. I think he's going to be content with a draw. 7.5 looks like enough to win this Title Tuesday. One of the lower scoring Title Tuesdays that we've had in a while. Usually we see someone running away with the tournament. 9 points we've seen, 8.5, 8, but it looks like 7.5 might be first place in this tournament. Whoa! Someone's spamming Queen D5 in the chat. Queen D. There's a pawn on E4. Yeah, there's a pawn on E4. There's been a pawn on E4 the whole game. And if you meant maybe Queen E5 instead of D5, that's also covered, and the rook is hanging. So yeah, no. Unfortunately, the way I see it here, White is probably just winning after Rook A8. White is probably just winning after Rook A8. It's really a tricky position. It doesn't feel like it should be, but I think it is actually winning. And I mean, not just here, even a few moves before. After Queen E8, the best I could say for Black is take a draw with Queen F3. But Queen F3, you can maybe still play Rook A8. It's just that then I would consider Rook G7. That's sort of what I mean. Get your queen out of this pin, and then play Rook G7. So after Queen F3, there might be Queen E6 attacking the pawn, and then Queen H5 back. That was a potential draw that I saw. But tricky stuff. This looks like definitely a draw. Rook E1 here. Okay. Well, there goes a pawn. Whoa, what's going on here? Alright, should be a draw, but we'll see. This is, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Rook B7, and now C6 coming up. Bishop F4, and probably Bishop C7, honestly. Bishop C7 and King D6 should be a draw. Bishop C7 just because if Rook takes, there's a Rook takes here, which would be a draw. But of course, this is also good enough. Yeah, now this bishop is, so just take, and we should see these guys agree to a draw. There we go. And there we go. That was the last game of the round, guys. Let's get the energy up. We got 600 people in here, guys, and we're going into the last round of this Title Tuesday early edition. Round 9, and once again, guys, clear first is Andreykin. Let's see if he goes for a draw, if his opponent even wants a draw. He's black here, playing Yevgeny Levin, and we got so many people chasing him. A lot of people, because there's been so many draws on the top boards, that tons of other players are actually starting to catch up now. So this is, you know, if Andreykin loses here, guys, this is anybody's tournament. It could be. So let's pay attention to this game, and if it's a quick draw, we'll jump to the other games that have an impact on first place. But Andreykin playing for the win here. With a win as black here, he wins the tournament outright. Let's see what happens. H3. Bishop D3, yeah, H3 more common. Takes, queen takes, and G4 is going to be dropping this pawn. So maybe take, and G4 here. Yeah. Now maybe G5, but also you can decide to leave the pawn there. White would normally castle this way. H4, H5. Andreykin is content with this position though. He wants to put a knight on E4, so something like that. And he wants to put this knight maybe over to C4, or potentially eventually to D6. There's a big attack for white, but you know, after takes, king to F7, you start to realize it's not that dangerous. It's not that dangerous. Why is the knight going to B6? Have to defend this pawn on D5. Doesn't seem that important, but knight takes was actually an idea, followed by pawn takes, and you really start to put some pressure on the black king. Queen D7. Basically, black just biding his time with knight E4. It's such a solid position with black. I think it's exactly what you want to play when a draw is probably enough to win the tournament and a win would secure it. B3, okay, stopping knight c4, but again, it just feels like such easy play with black. Just double the rooks on the open file, knight e4. Yes, there's an attack here, guys, but like I said, queen h3, queen h7, king f7, then what? You know, what comes next? Suddenly your queen is getting trapped by rook h8 soon. So this attack, it feels a bit empty. It feels a little bit empty. Well, he's going to open up the H file. I think he has to at least do that. We might see bishop d3, knight e2 here, but like I said, look at the time advantage. More than a minute advantage for black. This is dangerous. You're going to see rook e8 here. Yep, just easy moves. a5 and knight a4 from white might be an idea. Knight a4, b6, stopping knight to c5. Or knight e4. There we go. Even stronger. And where does this knight go? Knight d6. That's what I was talking about earlier. The maneuver, knight c8, knight d6. He plays this move because I think he kind of has to. If he doesn't play knight c5, then this knight comes to d6, and then after knight c5, black takes, puts the other knight on e4. Game over. I think that he's really considering a move like queen e7, or just moving the queen in this position. Queen c7, attacking a5, because if white takes, you know, that knight was his best piece, and that knight on e4 is so strong. He doesn't want to do this and open up this diagonal, because that might work against black. Something like queen h7 followed by bishop b2. So I think he's being safe rather than sorry. We have to remember that, guys. Safe rather than sorry. He's giving up a rook. The king is still so safe over here, and meanwhile, queen takes a5 is a huge attack for black with knight d6 coming. What a monster knight on e4. I really like this move, queen c7. Queen c7. Final round here, guys. We're trying to decipher who is going to win this tournament. With a rook on e4 after bishop d3, who feels like he's going to move the rook, and who feels like he's going to take that pawn? Hopefully nobody. I imagine he's probably going to leave that rook on e4 and just hope that white would take. Maybe play knight d6 after that, or just take the pawn. So here comes queen there, king there, rook h6. That's going to be the idea. If I was black, I would probably play king f7 right now. That looks like an idea. King there, and that way if queen f7, there's rook h8. So probably king f7, and then follow knight d6, queen a5. Time advantage, still 1 minute for black. Still 1 minute. And yes, guys, remember, if you played this tournament, you can still play the next one. You can still play the next tournament. And if you didn't play this one, you should absolutely try to play the next title Tuesday. And there we go, king f7, and he does play knight takes e4. Again, if queen h7, rook is coming to h8. I don't like white's position, guys, if I'm honest. This knight is so good, threatening knight f2, knight c3 in the future, hanging pawn here with a5. Yeah, white doesn't have enough threats. Bishop b2. Now he's trying to keep all the knight forks covered with his pieces, but they're not going to good squares, and black is not under any pressure anymore. I don't think there's any chance black loses this position, especially with this time advantage. Knight f2, queen h7, king there, rook h6. Doesn't look like there's any time to take this. Yeah, he's going to go back. Once again, queen h7, rook h8, keep things under control. And he might go for this draw just because of the tournament situation. Otherwise, I would say he would probably play for the win. Otherwise, I would say he would play for the win. Okay, he is going to play for the win. Look at that. Fighting spirit. Rook e6. There we go. And rook a6, huge threat. c4, huge threat. He's going for it. I like it. Are we going to see c4 here? Take, d5. Yikes. That doesn't look too good. What about knight d2? Well, everything's protected here. Are we going to see knight c3? Or c4? c4 looks pretty good now. If pawn takes, d5, there's a rook b6. Yeah, c4. Great move. 20 seconds for white. This could be Andreykin sealing the win. Rook e3, where's the win? Knight d2 check, and then queen e3, game over. Game over. No threats for white. Look at his pieces are totally trapped. Just queen takes e3. Yeah, game over. Wow. Guys, Andreykin sealing the deal this title Tuesday. He didn't even have to worry about tie breaks. He won with black in the final round of this title Tuesday tournament. That is a clear first place, guaranteed for him. Congratulations to Dmitry Andreykin. And what on earth is happening here? Naroditsky with a collapse, unfortunately, in the final round. He played strong all tournament, but the final round loss means that he's not going to be top 3. Right now, we have Dmitry Andreykin, first place. We have Genghis K in second place from Argentina. And we have Zavin Andreasyan in third place. We'll see if that changes with any of the games that are still going. This is Ariban's game that is on right now. He's playing white. He can still have... Both of these guys can have a share of first place. We'll see how the tie breaks look. I like white just a little bit more here. Bishop is better than the knight. We're going to see bishop e3. Yep. Do we take that? I think you must take that. King f3, take, h5. Whoa, creative knight. After knight c2, we're going to see bishop c5. Okay, how does he get that knight out of the corner? That's the question. There we go. Gonna have to bring that knight to c4. White's king is way more active. I think a big advantage here. But is it winning? That's the question. I am not sure that it's winning. King e6. Probably going to be a draw here, I would say. Yeah. If these guys draw, neither of them really get a share, so we might see the blood being spilled here as they try to win. And only white, in my opinion, can win this, trying to bring the king over here to b7, but that looks like it. What a game indeed. What a game indeed. Yeah, 500 is first place, for those wondering. Whoa, actually, white might lose now. Yeah, he has to play that move. He has to play bishop d4. Bishop d4. Yeah, should just be a draw. No way that white can win now. With the king active on e6, it should just be agreed. Although I prefer to have the knight here. I prefer to have the knight just because it's blitz, even though in a chess sense, the bishop should be better than the knight. Yes, you got happy feet in the chat. It is so hard to use a bishop in the endgame, especially in blitz. It's too bad. Hello, Dan Tuch in chat. What are my thoughts on the Grob? Fun opening. I don't think I could ever play something that looks so peculiar. I'm a positional player, so I don't like my pawns to look funky. But I like some of there's a little bit of theory in the Grob. I like some of the lines that occur after g4, d5, bishop g2, bishop takes g4, c4. Those are very fun. But I find any other way that black plays, if he plays on my dark squares on the king side, I end up hating the position. End up hating it. Alright, these guys are really playing on. Updating the standings again. It's the exact same as I last had it. So this game may have an impact on the standings. Both of these guys really want to win, but I really don't think it's possible. But we're gonna stick here, guys. This is one of the last games of the round, and it has the most impact on the tournament. So we're gonna see if either of these guys can pull it off. But Dmitry Andreikin, undisputed, first place here in the early edition. And let's see if either of these guys, they're the last game in the round. But I think realistically this should be a draw. Alright, we must have had this position before. I know these guys both want to win, but unfortunately this one is headed for a draw. A pawn move. He really wants to win. He really wants to win. He's putting his pawns on dark squares. So all I'm saying is he has to be a little careful here, that's all. He's putting his pawns on dark squares. You gotta be so careful. I would really like to be black here. Now I would start playing for a win. Okay, are they just gonna repeat? Is that gonna be a draw? No. Save us. Alright, unfortunately a draw. These guys ended with 7 points. They needed 7.5 to join top 3. That's it, guys. That's Title Tuesday. There you go on the screen. It looks like... oh, that's interesting. It looks like... well, usually you see gold, silver, bronze, but I think chess.com has accounted for tied scores. So they have 2 silver medals. That's cute. Tied second, each 7.5 out of 9. Zavin Andreasian and Genghis K. And of course, Dmitry Andreikin. Really, really good chess. I was so impressed from him this tournament. He often plays well, but doesn't always win these events. It's important to note, you know, MVL, Nakamura not playing this event. You always notice when top players like that aren't here. Hopefully they'll be playing the later event. We can't say anything. I don't know. Can't confirm anything for you guys. I hope. I will probably be playing the late event myself. That starts in just less than 4 hours from now, guys. 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. But first place this Title Tuesday, 8 out of 9, undefeated Dmitry Andreikin. So that's how it went down. This is the early edition. We had you know, about 650 viewers watching at some point, so it was really a big tournament this time, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed the show. Hope you guys will be back for the late night edition. Don't forget that is being hosted by Grandmaster Eric Hansen, and that should be a lot of fun. We know that anybody who didn't win first this tournament is going to come back for a second crack at it in the late night edition. And every beginning of every month, first Tuesday, there's always Title Tuesday, 2 events. So make sure to stay tuned for that next time, guys. Also on the chessbrah channel, we have International Master Miodrag Perunovic doing a little class, a lecture on the chessbrah channel at 5:30 Eastern Time. So in between the 2 Title Tuesday events, if you guys want to learn a thing or two about hanging pawns, tune in to the chessbrah stream and learn something in between the two Title Tuesdays. How about that, guys? Thanks for watching, everybody. We hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to stick around for the chessbrah stream, and then after that, the late night Title Tuesday, guys. This is action-packed chess day. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.